What's up, traders? 20 checking in here. Just going over last week's recap. I haven't dropped a video in a little bit, so I've been trading. Really trying to nail down some super trend. I know you don't see the 20 on my chart. You say, why ain't the 20 on your chart, 20 trader? Well, the thing is, I'm just using the 50 as an area of value, so only short below and only long above, but with price action, right? So it's just giving me just an idea, and I'm looking at the super trend. All right. So you gotta use it in conjunction with market structure, right? So let's talk about. I was trading this week, and I was getting super aggressive on the 15-minute time frame. I caught 100 pips, but I also was making mistakes by exiting and entering. And what that causes is you pay spread on the in and outs. So I was chopping up my profits. So if, right? So let's say a if. So for next week, I'm holding only 1 hour time frames, right? I'm only gonna hold the 1 hour time frame to avoid getting whacked up when prices springing 50, 100 pips in a goddamn in a session, right? So let's look at the 15-minute on the dollar yen here. This is what I was trading back over here, right? So I saw yen, it started pulling back, right? It's pulling back. If you look at the daily, all right, the daily time frame, let's go back over here. The daily time frame, the yen is overstretched. It went on a massive bull run. Sorry, the dollar against the yen. And then you got this tweezer top, this big ass candle with a rejected candle right next to it, right? So I'm seeing that all these people are getting stopped out. I'm going short. So this is counter trend, right? If you look at the daily chart, this is obviously an uptrend. Right. So the daily players, this is just a retracement to them. They're like, oh, this is just a retracement. It's no big deal. Right. So you got to think about it in that way where the daily time frame is bulling. So be careful when you short. All right. So let's take it back to the 15-minute time frame. This is what I was doing on the 15-minute. Right. So that's the last day or two. Here we go. What I saw here was lower highs into resistance. I'm sorry, support at this point, right? So again, back to market structure. You're trading support resistance if you like. I trade support resistance just with super trend 20, 50 EMA. Here's the thing. If you notice, all these people that bought this, right? They got stopped out. Price starts pulling back. They say that's a retracement. The higher time frame buys it. They get sold off. They bought it again, sold off. All these sellers are like, yeah, give me a better price and I'm going to sell it to you as much as I can. Right. So now this is when I got short because we got these lower highs into resistance. I'm sorry, support in this case. Once price broke that, I know that all these buyers, right? All these people that bought this are getting stopped out. So that's why you get this violent slap to the downside because everybody's stop loss got triggered. Where they put their stops? Right below the swing, right? Oh, right below the swing. That's where the stops are. So when price breaks it, you're going to get a violent splash. So price splashed, and if you know now here's why support and resistance is critical. These buyers back here, right before this giant candle up, These guys are still positive they're still holding that position, but it came all the way back to them. They bought it again, right? Maybe it's not the same people, but this is an area of value, right? That breakout, they bought it again. So once these guys bought it again, price pulls up, it gets smacked because the current time frame traders, right? Like let's say you're on the 15, they hit the 50. Everybody's like, man, hit the 50, hit the 50, yep, shorted, right? Hit the 50 EMA, shorted. So it did short and it broke these guys' stop losses too, right? The people over here, they got stopped out too, if they were still holding the position, right? So price comes, so think about it like price levels, right? Because look at it this way. Price whacked everybody down. The higher time frame is still buying this because it's a pullback and an uptrend. Buy the dip, right? The higher time frame is buying this. So they get the buys in and the lower time frame shorting everybody. Okay. So it gets spanked down. But what I was saying, support, turn, resistance, it happens all the time. And you can expect it a lot of the time. So this was support, right? Price touched 3 times, actually 4 times. Once, twice, 4. Broke. Price pulls down, whacks everybody out, comes back up, retest that same price level, right? Gets rejected, pulls down, comes back up, right? Now, if you're shorting this, what you want to know is when so I'm on the 15-minute right here, right? This is a hectic time frame. But when you're here and price starts making higher highs and higher lows, you don't want to be in that trade. You don't know which way it's going to go because price turned against you here, right? So if you're ever wondering like, well, why did I get stopped out? Why is price bulling? Well, 2 reasons. One, you're trading counter trend because the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, all these cats are on the bull. They're on the bull, right? Then again, I mean, from this price level here, breaks it, comes back, retests it, gets rejected from it again, right? But you're not really making lower lows. See? Because this low here, you endure all this, hit you with this low here, pulls back, hits you with this low here. And this little triple bottom, they were able to pull the price back off. So price is now resuming the uptrend, right? You got a breakout, you got a high, you got a low, you got a higher high. It's pretty close, but it is higher. A higher low, so price gets on the bull. Now, with this price action here, I'm not trading the dollar yen yet. Actually, I got out back over here once this started happening because this price action is getting funky and this thing's moving 50 pips a candle, right? Like, so if you buy it and price just whacks you out immediately, that's why this ATR, I don't have it on the thing, excuse me. But what do you call it? Let's take a look at this candle right here. That one candle's 72 pips. 15 minutes, 72 pips. Adios. Just like that. But long story short, so if you see price wax down, it tests that previous resistance turn support, test this price level again, test this price level. I mean, you got to trade these price levels. Test this price level, gets whacked down, back into that price level it tested before, gets back on the bull, right? So this is what I'm saying for my trade that I'm looking at this Sunday is going to be the Aussie dollar versus the yen. And you say, hey, 20, why are you doing that? Well, I tell you, because yen is getting spanked again, right? So if you look across all the pairs, Euro JPY spanked 55.55%, right? Aussie dollar 0.92%. So that one's getting super volatile. USD JPY 0.71%, right? They're getting back on the bull. Even the goddamn British pound 0.48. It's getting its ass whipped by everything, right? GBP USD 0.22 negative, 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 negative. The yen is it's whipping the yen's ass. So CAD 0.66, right? So long story short, I'm looking at the biggest mover for right now. It's putting in some nice price action with Aussie dollar versus the yen. So let's get back to the 1 hour time frame because this is what I'm gonna be trading this week is the 1 hour time frame. So if you notice it hit this nice bull run, it did a pullback. We traded that, got violent, was nice. Now for this week, I'm looking at these price levels, right? So that same thing over here, they're really similar to the dollar yen, but it's just gaining more, in my opinion. So we hit trend change, right? So we broke super trend, we made a pullback. We hit this price level, which is very important because that's their low, right? We hit this price level, got rejected. Now, this was the end of Sydney. These last 3 hours were like, the New York session's closed and it's just Sydney, so there's no real volume and it's going over the weekend. So a whole bunch of people are just like, oh yeah, let me dump $10 billion into it. No. So I'm gonna let Sunday open up. I'm gonna maybe it pulls back a little bit. Hopefully we get a little pullback, right? Because that's a better price. That's a better price to buy. All right, because to me, we're getting back on the bull, right? We had our retracement. Now we're back on the bull. And so I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to trade if it goes in this direction. So Sunday, I'm going to wait for the Tokyo session to open up Asia because that's when price starts moving. You got Sydney open and you got uh, Tokyo as well, Asia. So the spread's not going to be like because Sunday when this opens up, it's going to be like a 50 pip spread. You know, it's going to be 50 pips that you're paying off the bat just to get in this trade when it's like normally 2 pips, you know, 2 pip spread, which is good, right? And the reason I'm holding this 1 hour time frame is one, we got a good price right here. How many pips is this from here to here? You're looking at 41 pips. So we're gonna only risk 41 pips, but in reality, I'm gonna put my stop right here at about uh what's this price bar 91,444, 91,439, just right where this support turned resistance on the breakout. Now it's support again, right? So this is gonna be my area where I'm looking to get long. Well, I'm gonna buy it here. I'm gonna let it trail off for like 2 hours or whatever, and then I'm gonna buy it once the spread closes. I'm gonna set my stop loss here because we have the opportunity to get in at a decent price level and just let this bitch run all week, right? You could just let it. I'm gonna let it run until I either see some things I don't like, being like it starts making lower lows and lower highs and coming all the way back down to this price, right? Or profits just enough. I'm just like, this is getting overstretched. The other thing you can think about is coming into this big spike level, it could double top and then turn over and just start falling. So you definitely want to take it off before this high or reduce your position before most of these highs actually. Like you've seen that sellers, these guys that sold that might still have it and they might be pissed off. You know what I mean? So there's new price levels that we're gonna come into. But you definitely want to take it out before here. And if you do take it out before there, that's the 185 pips, right? 185 pips. It's very good. Increase your size, that shit's a lot of that's a lot of pips. Um, but so let's say it doesn't. Let's say, oh, I get stopped out, it whacks me down. I'm gonna wait, right? You know what I'm waiting for? This low to get broken, right? Because if you break this low, all these people that bought here are getting stopped out, it whacks down, and we might be looking at a continuation to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for. Aussie dollar JPY. That's my call of the day, whatever, the week, what I'm looking at. These motherfuckers get stopped out, break this low, I'm looking to the downside. But what you should expect, right? Because it's the way it's been trading. You whack everybody out, it goes down here, and then it pulls back to that same resistance line. Now this support, turn, resistance, and then it whacks. Right, so I'm waiting. Like, let's say you break that, I'm definitely gonna have a sell down here. But you break it, I'm expecting it to pull back. I don't expect it just to go to Hades. It's just gonna fall off the map into the abyss. No, price is gonna spank it, kill all these stops, and then retest. And then it might funk around a little bit, send it for another level lower. So I think this is one of the most misunderstood things is people don't look at the price right here. 90.500, right? So like all these little jibs, all these little price bars on the side is actual price. So I just drew this line, right? I can move it anywhere I want. So I say, "Oh, you break this, I'm selling it." Right? But I also expect once you break this price comes back, retest it. Sell it again. Sell that dog, right? Until you start giving me higher highs and higher lows and you break out of this function, uh I'm short. But in this case, because like I said, I'm long actually. I'm gonna get long as soon as spread tightens on Sunday, and then hold it through the night. Hopefully we pull off to the moon. Just obviously not gonna happen as well, so I'm taking off here. We're not gonna bull to goddamn, you know, Saturn or Venus. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at, folks. Got any questions, comments? Drop them below. Throw a subscribe. Next time you see me, I'm be trading at 20. Adios.